So hey guys, today we're going to look at another programming problem, which is to remove a loop from a linked list, right? So there's basically two ways of doing it, but I'm going to give you the easiest solution to do it. There's another way to do it, which is another problem method, which is to have you need to first detect if the linked list has a loop in it, and the way that you do it is by having two pointers, which is a slow pointer and a fast pointer, and then you move the fast pointer two nodes, and then you move the slow pointer just one node each iteration, and then you need to figure out the if the linked list contains a loop, and if it does contain a loop, you'll need to do another iteration where you start from the head and you start from the node inside the loop, and then you need to do another set of iterations to figure out where the loop ends so that you can break the loop, right? This is a bit of a complicated approach to solve this problem, but that's a far more easier way to do this. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. So, for example, here we are provided with three nodes on a linked list. So let me open that up. Yep. So we have these three nodes, right? We have one, and then we have three, and then we have four. And then after four's next is pointing to three. So we have like a loop inside this tiny linked list. So the way that the algorithm works is that we'll have a set, right? So imagine that we have a set right here, right? And we'll start from here, and we'll have two pointers. One of those pointers is called current, and another pointer is called previous, right? All right. So the first thing that we do is we check if current is in the set. If it's not in the set, we add it to the set, right? So in this case, we are checking one. We're seeing if one is in the set. If it's not in the set, we are adding one to the set. And then what we do is we increment current to the next node. So we're gonna increment current to the next node. And before we do that, we also want to make sure that the previous is pointing to the current before that. So in this case, previous will then point to one, right? And then we will check again if current is in the set. So in this case, it's not in the set. So we would add it. Before we add it, we will be pointing previous to this. So previous, the previous will point to three here. And then we move current, we add current to the set, and then we move current to the next node here. So current will come here, and then we do a check again. We check if four is in the set. If it's not in the set, so we're gonna add four to the set, and then we are gonna set previous to the current position. So previous is gonna become here. So I'm just gonna call it P for now, just because I don't have a lot of space. And the next thing that we do is that we move current to the next point, right? So in this case, current will, and we will move current to here. So current will point to here, and then we check if the current is in the set. So in this case, it is in the set. So we did find that the current is already in the set, and then what we do is that we break out from the loop, and then we set the previous is next, which in this case is force next, to null, and that kind of removes the loop from the linked list, and you can just return it. So the way that you could do, you could, if you want to return the head of the node, you could store it in a temporary variable and then return the head. Or if you just wanted to, alter the loop, you don't have to return the head at all. So in this case, we can just set it to null. So the previous is next would be set to null. So I'm going to code this out in Java. It's fairly easy to code it out. So the first thing that you need to do is actually create a hash set, right? So hash set, I'm just going to call it set, new hash set. And then I'm going to have two pointers as I talked about. So one of the pointers is called current, and it will be pointing to head. And then another pointer is called previous, which will be pointing to null initially. And then the way that we do is we check if while current is not equal to null, right? We are iterating till the end of the linked list. So while it's not equal to null, we initially check if the set contains current. So if it does contain current, we've talked about this our algorithm, right? So we just set previous dot next equal to null, and then we exit out the loop, right? So we just do a return and basically exit out the loop. But if it does not, wait, do I have a typo here? Yep. So if it does not contain current, we need to add current to the set. So I think is it add? I think so, yeah. So we add current to the set, and then um, what we do is we set the previous to current, and then we iterate current to the next node. So that should be it. Let me see and run if it passes the test cases. Yep. So I'm gonna submit it and see if it passes all test cases. All right. So we did pass all test cases. So that's kind of the easier way to solve this problem, guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you again tomorrow with another problem.